Welcome back to the Hurley Pro. It's time to get the third round underway here at Stop 8 on the WSL Championship Tour with Adriano de Souza taking on Josh Kerr, and what should be a fantastic way to kick off this round, because Adriano, he looked sharp in the first round. Josh putting together his best performance of the year so far just the other day in the second round. It's Adriano de Souza up early though as we get things started here. Round 3 action. Adriano on a mission at this contest to break a bad run of results. Josh Kerr falling on his first effort. Ronnie Blakey joined by Peter Mell.
And he seems to be running solo. As you see, it seems to be working, because this first wave, pretty good one to start this one off, especially with the mistake from Josh Kerr. You love the variety that Adriano brings to each and every wave. I mean, he can do the round carves, he can go straight up, he can do tail slides. Well, it's nice. We got a little extra pulse of the southern hemi swell and keeping it in that head-high range.
Here we go. The 33-year-old from Australia is up once again. Trying to stay mistake-free on this ride. Brings it through to the inside. Nice. Solid.
Right now, went to the San Clemente native of Matt Biolis, riding a 5.8 pocket rocket. This board's been looking good under his feet, looking very confident. This is exactly the type of wave that you need Josh to have after that first mistake.
De Souza up. Not afraid to match fire with fire when he comes up against someone.
So a smaller wave, and I think that's why we saw him go to this type of move, knowing that to salvage a score on a smaller set wave, you gotta do something special. So he tries it again.
That's where this is all gonna play out, is right at the end when we see these guys battle. Here's Josh on his inside wave. Beautiful little face on this thing. Nice open face carve right there. We'll see if he can get some work done on the inside as he catches back up to it. Speed down the line, chip off that. More fins out the back. Beautiful blowtail right there.
They say it doesn't, shake him up too much not having that major backing, but Josh was signed with Rusty for such a long period of time. It's definitely unfamiliar territory for him.
I would agree. This is a hard sport, first of all. I mean, you've got such a talented group of guys that you're going to get on streaks of bad luck or whatever you want to put it down to. Those close heats don't go your way, and so you end up having to figure it out. But yeah, I think that that support, plus the relationship in which he carried riding Rusty's boards for all those years, and now kind of going through a bunch of different shapers trying to find
having a lot of fun in the jersey. And having your surfing criticized can make you feel so vulnerable, but it looks like you've just really worked on everything and gone in there and just really put that hard work in. So what is it that you've been working on?
Well, for me, honestly, I've never stopped working, and I always hear that athletes are like, I've put the work in, and no one ever gets to know what the work is. Like, what is your work? Like, going out for free surfing, and I've been like an adamant journaler forever, and so for that, so things are looking really good. But at this moment, just heat by heat and having a lot of fun with my friends and family and support crew.
Such great insight, Sage. Can't wait to see what you do in the rest of the event and the rest of the year. Back to you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Rosie. Sage Eriksson just sounding so clear and in the moment, and as a result, performing very well. And just how much sharper she sounds competitively, as we see Josh Kerr up and winding through a nice carve here. Adriano had a decent wave to reclaim the lead, so Josh chasing a 5.81 out of that score.
So a pretty close battle ensuing here. The difference right now is the backup scores, where Adriano gets the 5.4 and has that lead, but not by a big margin. Beautiful round arcs by both these surfers. During the interview there, you have this air, frontside air to reverse attempt, only a 2.93 for that.
After hearing this last score, you'd think Adriano is going to start to push a little harder on his rail. He's got a good-looking wall here. He had a 5.4 on his last wave. It was mistake-free surfing, but just needed to explode a little bit more in the critical parts of the wave.
You know, that was the first heat that Josh really was able to get a nice finish there from Adriano. It was able to get those scores early in the heat, which allowed him to break free, right? I mean, he picked up an 8. Oh, boom, got another 8. He had 16 points before you know it. And then, you know, we started seeing even some more freedom to the surfing, and that's why it's so important to get those scores early. Nice sized wave here, just a nice little head high peak for Adriano. Feels like he's going to improve on that backup score. Nice complete ride. You know, that connection with the lip, but just a variety. Like he said, he pretty much does a style of turn to each and every section, and I think he's always been very conscious of trying to do different style and approach turns on one wave, you know, and showing that variety, because it is part of the criteria. Nice, well put together wave here. Again, that finish, so important at lowers.
Welcome back to the Hurley Pro. Josh Kerr up and chasing a score. Needs a 6.67 to take the lead. And puts it all on the line there. Unsuccessful in that attempt.
And you can, you know, you see that the feet are going to leave the board pretty much every time, and that's you got to get some pop. So you're going to see that foot lift off, and then it gets planted back on. It is on the rail, and you see the tail in the whitewash, and then just the weight pushed over the outside rail and goes down. You know, and if that nose been completely rotated and been able to land, that's really going to build in the confidence.
Well, Josh manages to get to the shoulder of this left. Just throws everything into that first section. Kind of had to. It was a little flat, that wave. But 8.5 minutes to go, and the situation's going to remain the same here. As we see Josh scratching into this one. Could be dangerous on these insiders, Kersey. He's getting some momentum, moving down the line. There's a big hook. And again, drives up into the lip. Clean combo.
That was nice. Little two-turn combo. The judges love that, too, when you get those two-turn combos with speed, when you're carrying a ton of speed. Good line on this little one. You know, it moved into the bay, and with the westerly angle, too, of the swell, you'll see a couple of these waves move to the inside. And that combo right there, 2 turns. And he had to work to get to it. And then it sets up, you know, a little speed float, too, beforehand. That carries that speed right into that wrap. So smooth in the transitions through the maneuvers.
Should be a great showdown, but here we go. Josh Kerr now still chasing that 6.67 with just over 3 minutes to go. He's picked off a little left here. Gets a little hung up. Things not really going to plan for Josh. By very small margins. Here we go. De Souza with 20 seconds to go. Looking to put it out of reach. Trying to replace the 6.27. He's not going to do it with this one. And he is now panicking.
He thought that was a huge mistake. Looks over his shoulder and realizes there isn't another wave behind it, because that was pretty much a blocking move. And it almost looked like the wave had some potential to improve on his 6s, but kind of blew it, dodged a bullet, I think, in a way there.
Definitely not Adriano's most convincing victory, but the trouble continues for Josh Kerr, who was on a bit of a roll, but is stopped short here in round 3. We got